Bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the Bum Wine Crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bumwine Bob. Welcome to an all-new edition of But with Bobcat on the Bumwine Bob YouTube channel and on all your favorite podcast apps. So do us a favor, smash that subscribe button on the Bumwine Bob YouTube channel. Spread the word that the best of the worst in cheap booze is right here every single week on Bumming with Bobcat. And this week is like every other week. We got some drinks on tap. We're ready to get drinking here and not waste any more time, as hopefully you all had a great 4th of Juloko weekend. And to keep the celebration going, we have Mr. LOKO himself. Roadhouse is here. Roadhouse, man, how you doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing all right. That was a heck of a time on that one. If you missed that last podcast, you need to check it out.
Yeah. Check out the 4th of Juloko festivities, celebration, whatever you want to call it. We had our good buddy Kevin the tattoo guy, join us here as we cracked open the LOKO USA to celebrate America and celebrate summer. Celebrate just every day. Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Doesn't matter when it is. We're always celebrating the best of the worst in cheap booze here. Every day's a good day. Every day you keep drinking with the Four LOKO. The sponsored, you got hats, stickers. Roadhouse has the shirt on over there today. I did get some text from Four LOKO saying I gained some more points.
Oh yeah,
and my Four LOKO loyalty. So I can inch closer and closer to getting that Four LOKO mini bike, only like 400, 500,000 more points to finally get to that point. But we'll see. We got to keep drinking. And and like every other day, if we're going to drink, we always like to have some drinking buddies here with us. So joining us here this week, he is the man of the hour. We have Rob here from the Drink O'Clock podcast, and many other ventures that you're out there these days. I see you all over the place. What I know you have your own podcast. You're with other people. You do other podcasts. You're all over the place, man.
You know what? It's diversifying, boys. And it's also called, I definitely agree to things when I'm drinking way too often. But I do have to get the approval of the wifey, and she's fantastic with that. But yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, thanks for having me on. And I've met a lot of cool people doing this shit, man. And they all most of them like to drink. So, or smoke. It's like a,
that is
polar opposite, right?
Yeah, it is. Cause I know I have people that will comment on some of the videos and they'll be like, hey man, I don't drink anymore, but I'll smoke with you guys for an hour. So why not?
Go America. I figured,
look at this Rob here. He's not wasting any more time. He knows where our heads are at here. And he's like, we got to get this shit rolling. We got to get drinking here. And he heard the word that we were doing, celebrating America, drinking the Four LOKO, drinking the LOKO USA. And he brought it upon himself to pick up a LOKO USA to crack open today. So we can't let him drink alone. So
we got to get you to that bike, brother. We're going to get you that bike.
See? So.
Been digging them.
Right.
Yeah, so I was.
It smells delicious. Shout out to Four LOKO. I haven't had this shit in fucking 15 years. So it was considered illegal now the last time I had it.
Yeah.
So.
But now it's all legal now. Roadhouse there brought out his electric melon, or actually electric lemonade. For
lemonade.
Electric
I
lemonade.
haven't had one of these since last summer.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
And I kept kind of on the same page with Rob over here. I didn't break open a can of the LOKO USA today, but I did bring along a bottle of the Four LOKO pregame.
All right.
USA that I still had left over because I did drink one of these on 4th of July and shared it with some friends who were pleasantly, if I can speak, pleasantly surprised with the flavor. So,
Yeah.
So
Rob, you
what
might
is
be-
that? Is
It's
that
just-
like a
It's
malt?
just like what you got.
It's just like what you got, except it's not carbonated, and it's a little
Interesting.
mini 200 milliliter bottle. They call it a Four Loko shot. So it's just kind of like a little pregame, like a little flask. You know, it could fit right in your pocket. I was wearing my America
Okay.
shirt, could put it right in there. You know, crack it open, and
Be on that little bitch.
so look at that. So you can just you can crack that open and get that sniff that USA.
I'm gonna regret this, man. I'm gonna regret this 100%. But cheers, boys.
All right.
Cheers.
That's pretty tasty. For 14%. Holy shit.
You got a 14% can?
Yeah, 13.9.
All right.
Yeah, there was
So
a little controversy because originally they were 14, and then last year they bumped them down. Same thing with these, down to 13.9. So we're wondering where that 0.1% went to in the
I
Four Loko.
rounded up. I shouldn't have, but I
So
did.
when you round it up, that's what threw me off.
Yeah,
You guys
'cause
are the
never-
experts here.
because you never know. You might. I mean, it's been about a year since they made the switch,
Yeah.
so it's possible you could have found an old can that was sitting in the back of a shelf somewhere. So you never know.
Yeah.
But
Do Four Locos expire? Is there like an actual expiration on this shit? Or
I don't
could we like
think so.
go into Armageddon, 5 years drinking Four Locos?
It's just like that. The other day when I was in the grocery store, I seen million-year-old pink Malaysian salt. It's 1,000,000 years old and had an expiration date on the thing.
Well, it's like when you have Advil that expires. It's like, motherfucker, I know that shit doesn't really expire. You just
No.
want me to go out and buy more.
Yeah, especially
And
when
I'm
you
not doing
buy. I know you buy like sometimes we'll buy like the big jug of it, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, 1,000 capsules. You're like, okay, this is gonna last us for years. Then next thing you know, a year later, oh, it says it expired. It's like, no, I'm still taking it. I'm
Nah.
not falling for your tricks out there. I know how this works.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the boys on like you guys, I'm sure, I think you've had Tony on before from the Dude Network. Like those guys, like they're cookers, right? They like to
Mhm.
fucking barbecue, do all that shit. And they're like, yeah, we'll eat the meat way past the expiration date. That
Yeah.
shit has to stink for us to not eat it. I'm like, if my
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
gets gray, it's gone. And like half the time I know that's not like, I guess when it's in the fridge, if it has any sort of oxidation, it might go from red to gray or whatever. But it's still totally fine to eat.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, it's the mental thing. I'm like, that's going in the trash.
It looks a little funky, and you're like,
Yeah.
you open it up and you're like, is this
You're like-
really good? Like maybe it smells a little
just
bit
cook it
like,
at a hotter temperature.
yeah, you just really just make sure it's cooked to
Yeah.
whatever level it needs to be at, and I'm sure you'll be okay. Like I took out made some ground beef for some tacos earlier today, and it was only a couple days old, so it was mostly red, but a few little darker brown spots. But you're like, whatever, man, this is fine. It's
Fuck
good.
it.
Yeah,
It
it's
worries
okay.
me though, dude, because like we watch a lot of Bar Rescue. You guys ever watch Bar Rescue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
Love
Taffer.
that show.
Fucking great, dude. It's an awesome show. Although the latest episodes are a little kind of just stupid because John Taffer's not in them. He sends like his experts out, and it's not
Yeah.
fun unless he's like yelling
not the
at
same.
like a 60-year-old lady who's like
Yeah.
invested $200,000, and he's like, "You suck," That's when it gets like the most hilarious. But dude, when they show, like, I love dive bars. Me and the wifey, we love, like our thing is getting cheesesteak egg rolls wherever we go. If it's like a small bar, it's the cheesesteak egg rolls are fucking fantastic.
Is that like
especially if you're in Philly.
is that like your measuring stick? Is the cheesesteak egg rolls? If the place has a good cheesesteak egg roll, you found your spot.
That or French fries? It's weird because in Philly, you get a mishmash of a lot of things, right? You got the cheesesteaks, but you have crab fries is a big thing here. So there's Chickies and Pete's, and that's like their thing with the liquid American. It's delicious. But for us, it's cheesesteak egg rolls when we go, especially to like a dive bar, a smaller bar with a kitchen. And it just worries me when you see these fucking places on Bar Rescue where there's fucking roaches everywhere. And you're like, I would have eaten at that place. And then
you're like, it looks fine. Yeah, it looked from the outside, inside, it looks fine. But then it's like they go in the back, it's like, yeah, here's some roaches there. Here's some other animals, dead things.
My cheesesteak egg roll has like, you know, egg and ham contamination and all this other bullshit. And you're like, well, you know what? As long as I don't see it and I don't get sick, I've never had food poisoning. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Meanwhile, my dog's like, fuck. I've never had fucking food poisoning, but Bar Rescue worries me a little bit. But it's a fantastic show.
Yeah, entertaining for sure. So what do you think? So what do you think of that LOKO USA over there? You just get your approval.
So here's the thing, right? It's kind of like, it reminds me of wine because I'm not the biggest wine drinker, right? The first sip, you're like, ooh, okay. And then sip 2 and 3. And then when you hit like sip 4, it just goes down. I could probably drink this whole thing in like 3 minutes.
It's the first couple sips are like that initial shock of whatever the flavor is to it. And when I cracked open this for 4th of July, I was over at a friend's house and I shared it with a couple of my buddies who never had this before. And I'm like, hey, you guys want to, have some Four Loko? And they're like, oh man, I don't want that shit. I'm like, here, just take a little sip. Got a cup, poured it out into a glass. Little like a tiny, like a shot, pretty much, like it says, Four Loko shot. And then they took a sip, and they're like, wow, man, this isn't that bad. It kind of, my one friend was like, it tastes. I think the taste that they were kind of going for is like a melted, sour bomb pop type thing with it, with that sour cherry. Not quite like the bomb pop itself, but maybe like the cherry part of it if it was a little bit sour. Because for whatever reason, Four Loko has a hard on for all these sour flavors of everything, and it's like every once in a while you're like, just give us like Roadhouse has the lemonade. Sometimes you just want a regular ass flavor lemonade. I don't need sour blue raspberry, sour cosmic punch. Just give me a regular flavor. I don't need to be sour all the time.
Well, Bob, have you asked them? Text them right now. Hey, man.
Let's see. Let's get out here.
Text them right now. But
hey,
we really like your shit, but can we get some non-sour flavors?
Yeah. And a lot of people have said that too. I've seen the post, like Four Loko will post something on Twitter. People are like, hey, can we get some non-sour flavors every once in a while? So I will. I'll send them a message and
send them a message.
Tell us what it is. Tell us what they respond. That's funny. I mean, look, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I haven't had them in a while, but I do remember the last time I did have them. I was 22, I think 23, and I was drinking like by now I've had one at least one at that moment, and I think I had 2 or 3, and they all had caffeine in them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those nights where I regretted the morning, and I don't plan on doing that. But like sipping this like an adult, being normal, it's good. I can't complain.
Being responsible over here.
Yeah. I mean, knowing I'm gonna sit in my office tomorrow and be like, I'm old. Well, I turned 38 next week. Which, I always tell people like, happy birthday. Like, no, man, it's another year closer to death at this point.
I'll be 39 in a couple weeks. So I'm right with you.
You get it.
So
you get it.
I get it.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And I'll be 53 in December.
Yeah. He's the elder statesman of the drinking community over here.
Yeah. I have more gray hair than you do, Roadhouse. What's up with that? What happened to me?
I don't have any.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's on my beard.
Exactly. That's what
my beard and then my hamburger meat.
Yeah.
The moment you start getting gray chest hair, it fucks with you a little bit. I kind of was cool with the beard and the head, and then I just started getting the gray chest hair, and then it was like a sickness. You know, you started with one, and then like I just
Yeah.
looked the other day, and I'm like, I have 30 gray hairs in my
And
chest.
there you're like, okay, I got this one, that one. You're like, oh crap.
You lose count. It's gone.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
mine's loaded, but it did.
Just say fuck it, man.
When I first
Fuck
started
it.
getting gray in my beard, it was messing with me a little bit. But when I started forgetting about it is when my kids have a full beard now. So I guess
How
I
old your
could be the
kids?
elder. 26 and 24.
Okay. All right. Boys, girls.
So both boys. They
Oh,
got
there you
beards.
go.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, look,
Yeah, you never know.
you never
You
know
just-
with today's world
Yeah.
who's got a fucking beard. So
you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
you always
one's
gotta
got a
watch.
full Grizzly Adams beard, and the other one's got a hipster beard.
That's awesome. The fucking hipster beards, man. Does he have? He doesn't have a man bun though, right?
No, absolutely
All
not.
Okay, good.
All right, we're good. We're good there then.
Yeah. Either you.
No,
Well,
but he's got a nice, clean, like Bob. Bob's got a nice, clean, groomed beard. Yours is too.
Yeah, I just
Mine, I
got mine
realized-
done, man.
I'll trim mine up when it starts getting in my mouth.
yeah. It's getting to that
And
point
then-
where you get the little taste. Like I lick you lick the little extra LOKO off your lip there. You go, oh, okay.
I know.
There it is.
Savory,
Yeah.
savory.
Sometimes I let it get down to like, down to my chest, middle of my chest, and then I take it off. But
Yeah, you get that big ZZ Top beard going.
I never could get that good of one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never could get mine to straighten. Always.
Yeah, it just
stayed
becomes
right
like
there.
a big
Yeah.
jumbled mess of just.
Yeah.
Then it just
I
kind
mean,
of
it
looks
comes
weird.
out good and shapes up good, but I never was
Yeah.
able to straighten it.
And then people start thinking, are you a terrorist or what are you doing? You got this big beard. You're like, I don't know, just
Durga.
I-
Mine
At least-
connects, man.
Yeah.
Mine connects everywhere. So it's like it'll connect to my hair, it'll go
Mhm.
down here, it'll do this line, it connects to my chest all the way down to the pubes.
that's good.
And
That's
it's
good
just
because
Whole body hair thing, and you can't control it, man. It just goes.
Yeah. But
Well,
at least
most
it all
people are
connects. You
impressed-
want it to connect. You're not like those people that that hate that they're like this, like the mustache won't connect to this, or they have like the
Yeah,
patches and stuff. So we're lucky that we
Yeah.
we got
It's
that.
true.
A lot of people that, just like Bob said, will compliment me on how well my beard runs across my entire bottom lip instead of having, the spacing in it.
I have none. Yeah, so like I don't grow any hair right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as a dickhead young 20-something, I wouldn't grow my beard. The wifey loves the beard, so I grow it. But when I was younger, oh man, I know the internet's gonna kill me for this. I would just grow the soul patch. That's all I had was the soul patch. And
Yeah.
one day, it was when I was first dating the wifey, and one of my buddies was like, if you don't shave off your soul patch right now, we're gonna do it for you. It is
Yeah.
possibly
They're
the
good
dumbest
friends.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing. And I thought I was I had the faux hawk, the
we
fake
got to see.
faux
You
hawk.
got to dig out some pictures of this. You got to see. You got to put them out there on the internet now. You're putting this out there. Now we need the proof for it.
I'll find an old Facebook picture and I'll send it to
Yeah.
you. So you can laugh. It's justifiably bad. But you know what? Such is the times. I mean, back then, when we were,
Yeah.
22,
If you're
23,
looking,
that was the thing.
yeah. During
you
the time frame, that was the. It's somewhat of the style. Yeah. I mean, I had the. At that time, I had just like a goatee at the time, and for a while, I just didn't have the mustache part, and I only grew like down here. Not the soul patch, but I had like this down here, but not with the mustache on top. So you're still young. You're going through those phases. You're trying to see what works for you. We've all done it.
Yeah,
So-
what fits, what makes sense. I mean, I
Yeah.
had many phases. I had the long hair phase, where I basically had a mullet.
I had that. too, yeah.
I think every guy goes through the long hair phase at some
Mhm.
point.
Yeah. You have
and-
to do it before you can't do it anymore, because it's like now I can't do it. So that was
Yeah,
like the
now
last gasp I had was 6 years ago when they just let it grow, and they had it. Maybe it's like to like here, just kind of like very mullety. But I was going for that, like just to see, okay, like how can I get this to look?
The ship has sailed, yeah.
And then cut it off, and then at that point, every day was just getting less and less, and you're like, oh, this is not going well.
I've always had that the receding hairline. It's just only gotten worse. But I will say this: at least my brother, and he's younger than me, he's got the bald spot, and it's like right here. I don't have that, and I don't know if I feel more comfortable with the receding or the bald spot. He's got the receding and the bald spot. It makes it look worse. So I feel like I hit somewhat. But he doesn't have the gray hair like I do. So. I feel like I'd rather kind of have the gray hair than the receding and the bald spot.
I'd take the gray with the hair any day of the
Yeah.
week. I think I have no problem. I have no problem with the gray because you can get that distinguished look with
It's
the
kind of
gray
in
hair.
now.
Yeah.
You
It's
get
like
that.
the salt and pepper look.
Yeah, I was gonna I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the salt and pepper with the thing there that the chicks like that these days. Like what's the in thing? I mean, you never know. So
Well, my dad, and you know what, Roadhouse, maybe you'll remember this. So my dad, he just turned 60. All right. So, but when my dad, obviously it's when you're losing hair, it's kind of a family thing, right? It's typically the damn dad that has it. Well, my dad was very insecure growing up, and I'll never forget. Growing up, he would use, and I don't know if you remember this shit. Maybe you might too, Bob. Do you remember the infomercials for the spray in hair? And it was basically
yeah.
It was like hairspray that was colored, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wore that shit, and my mom used to fucking make fun of him so much. They're obviously divorced now.
Obviously, that's why. Thanks to the spray hair. Thanks, guys.
But dude, she used to go like it was bad. The one time he like slept and he rolled over and it was, I guess, still fresh. And he woke up and he had raccoon eyes, like the brown raccoon eyes. And then she used to get so mad because he would spray it, but he would do it in the shower and that shit would rise. So the entire top part of the shower on the ceiling was just brown.
Oh, wow.
But growing up, and then he had a hairpiece at one point that was like very convincing. It was like sewn in. Now he just says, fuck it, because he's 60, so he just shaves his head bald.
Yeah.
For me, it's like I feel like you get to a certain point, you just accept it, and I guess I'm at a point where maybe my dad was a young dad, so he was 21 when he had me. So he was at in his early 30s, and I get that, but even in my early 30s, I was fucking going gray and losing my hair. I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
But different time, it is a different time.
Sure.
Yeah. Everything was different at that point. So you never know.
So I'd always shaved my head to the skin. And I had a shaved head and a goatee, looked like Stone Cold. And then when I decided to just let it go, when it came back in, I didn't have any hair to grow.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Well, this is who I am now. So it's like.
So I did. You said every man goes through growing their hair out stage. I had the Hulk Hogan. Had to skull it.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack open something different. I got my pregame here. I had something else in the fridge here. I got some Molson XXX Super Premium beer over here. You got 7.3%.
Oh, nice.
24 ounce. Kind of picked this up in my travels, and I was like, I got to crack this bad boy. I haven't had one of these in a while, so.
So what makes it XXX?
Yeah.
Like, when you open it, does it like go? Is it like?
Well, here, look. They have a nice little write-up on the side of the can here. XXX by Molson is a unique beer that delivers a full-flavored drinking experience with a cold, crisp, and clean taste. Our passion for quality beer began back in 1786 when John Molson offered his first brew in Montreal and continues to this day. For this reason, we believe XXX by Molson will quickly become your favorite super premium beer?
Quickly.
Okay.
See, super premium.
I'm a big fan of Bud Light Platinum. I actually really like Bud Light
That's a
Platinum.
good,
I don't know if
that's a
you
good
had
one,
it.
yeah.
It's what 6%?
6, yeah, I think that's 6. Yeah, the Bud Light Platinum. Yeah.
I mean, gives you terrible shits. It's one of those it's like nuclear. It's like Taco Bell almost.
Yeah.
And if you mix them both, you might as well just not go to work that day.
Yeah. Hopefully it's the
but-
weekend and you have,
Yeah.
have a recovery
It's
day
Friday
after.
night. Yeah. But I've always enjoyed Bud Light. I actually have some upstairs for when I kind of like want to get a couple in
crazy,
early.
Yeah, a little crazy. Or if you need to, use it as a laxative to get you
Yeah.
get you going the next day, keep you regular a little bit.
If it's been a little while since I've taken a shit.
Yeah, I haven't had
100%.
Bud Light Platinum in a while. I remember when I first came out, me and my buddies would get that a lot because it was like the 6%. It had like a lot smoother taste to it than a regular Bud Light. Totally different taste and a lot more flavor to the Platinum. And you're like, this is a damn good beer, and it gives it an extra buzz at the 6%. So get the John. You have to go out there and revisit it. I see it out there, but it's not as prominent. It's another one of those brands that, they'll be promoting it, and then all of a sudden, it's not promoted, but it's still out there. Just like Bud Ice. I mean, I was a huge Bud Ice fan growing up. I still like Bud Ice, but remember in the 90s with the Penguins was their big marketing campaign, and being like a teenager at the time, it was like geared towards kids. Like, is Penguins in a commercial? It's like, are they not promoting underage drinking with this? I guess maybe. You never know.
Followed by Joe Camel.
Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that. And they promote it, and then all of a sudden, never again. It's still out there. You can still buy it, but you don't see any ads for it anymore. No commercials. But that's Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch they go through all these phases of everything with the stuff they promote.
It's like Bud Light. We were drinking it for a while. Bud Light Next. It's the 0 carb. It's the only 0 carb beer in existence, at least that I know of, that has alcohol in it. It's 4% or whatever. And we drank it for a while, and it's not bad. I mean, it's very light. Is it worth the premium that you pay to save 1 or 2 carbs a drink?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends, because if I'm drinking Bud Light, I'm drinking 10 to 15. Like you're drinking Bud Light to just, coast.
Right. You're drinking whatever it is. If it's a light beer, if it's an all day drinking thing, you're going to drink a ton of them. Yeah. I'm not drinking 2. If I'm going to have 1 or 2, I'll get something that is more of a full flavored craft beer to an extent type thing of saying,
you're going to get on Roadhouse's level. Jesus Christ.
He goes quick, man.
So let me ask you guys this. What's the max amount of light beer that you've had in one day? Like one sitting?
50.
Have you really gone all the way?
Damn, Roadhouse.
Oh.
Well,
I think 25 is mine.
Yeah, I was going to say probably 20. Yeah, between 20, 25 in that range, most likely.
In like a 2-3 hour period, not like an all day thing. It was like 2-3 hours pre-gaming, and we drank way more than I anticipated. I think that's the highest I've hit.
If the atmosphere is right, I have no problem doing a 12-pack an hour.
Okay.
That is incredible.
It's just the atmosphere's got to be right. Have a good time. All right. So when we were doing the podcast with Steph, I drank 4 tall boys of PBR in an hour. So that's 8 beers. No. And I think I went in with some Yingling after that.
Well, in Pennsylvania, we just call that lager.
Just a lager.
In PA, we just call that lager.
Well, you're in the home right there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
I love Yingling.
Yeah, great
We
beer.
didn't have it here forever. We just recently, in the last year or so, got it in Kentucky.
Yeah, if you're in PA and you go, I want a lager, you get Yingling. That's
Okay.
like that's the thing. I mean, I'm probably, I want to say we're like an hour and a half maybe from the factory it's like their American factory that they
I
have.
love it. It's a full body. It's just great.
Is it Lillet's? I forget what
Just the other day we were, I drank 6 of them, 6 lagers.
Yeah, and the rest of their portfolio as well is pretty solid too, with the other beers that they brew. Like, then they have like their Oktoberfest,
Yes.
black and tan. The light's
light's
pretty
good.
I know there's a ton of other ones out there I can't even think of, but they have a whole variety of different types.
So when I met the wifey, she was I fell in love with her because she was a Captain Morgan girl. And that's my rum of choice is Captain Morgan. And eventually I started working for the company too that she does, and I became certified as a Guinness pourer. So I did a whole bunch of beer fests.
Wow.
Being a certified, I actually had to take like 3 different classes on hops and all that shit and how to pour a perfect. I had to do all the fucking perfect pour for doing a Guinness, because Guinness has a lot of history, and you got to be able to pour a Guinness and know what you're doing to not fuck it up.
Yeah,
and this was around when Guinness Nitro came out, when they started
Okay.
doing the Guinness Nitro. And dude, Guinness is great, man. A lot of people don't understand just how fucking good a regular, like, they look at it and they're like, oh, that is a heavy beer. It's really not. It's
No.
delicious and it's not that heavy, like, for what it looks like.
Right, it looks a lot heavy. Yeah, they see it and they see the foam and they're like, "Oh man, this thing's got to be like I'm drinking a milkshake." People think it's like not really. It's a beer. There's not much to it. I mean, it's not one of those. I like to drink it. and I'll drink it from time to time, but it's not really a go-to of mine. But every once in a while, you're like, you know what? I want a Guinness, and that's one of those where it's saying if you're having 1 or 2 in an evening. You're not cracking into the Bud Light. You have a Guinness or 2, something like that. So you're not saving calories, that's for sure. But you're getting flavor with 2, which will even out between your 10 Bud Lights and 2 or 3 Guinnesses. It'll even out with your calories if you're watching them.
Yeah, which I don't even know what a Four Loko has in it. I don't look
at the label.
I don't even think they don't even tell you how many calories. I don't think it tells you. I think it's 4 and like a 3/4 servings per can. So that right there tells you all you need to know about it.
There's not a single thing on here. All right, Four Loko. I see what you're doing here. It's delicious, but I need to know how bad I'm killing my fucking body. You know what I'll start doing maybe on my podcast. Actually, maybe you guys should start doing it. Put like one of those fucking like electronic diabetic patches on and see what your insulin levels look like after a Four Loko. just as as a mad scientist.
My wife, she has to test her blood sugar all the time. And I sat there one night and probably drank, I don't know, Four Loko, Mad Dog, everything like that, and then smashed like a whole box of Little Debbie's. And she was dying to check my blood sugar. It was like 119. She's like, "How is that possible?"
Roadhouse.
Like, my liver. I got an overgrown liver.
You have what I like to call the super liver. At this point, I feel like our livers have also incorporated other elements of other organs in our body. So it's like it's got a little bit of the heart, a little bit of the kidneys, and it's just functioning very high. It's
mine suffered for 40 years.
It takes a lot of work to get to that level. So
I am actually vastly impressed.
It takes a lot of skill to get to that point. So one day we will get there, and you'll be able to drink that Four Loko as quick as Roadhouse does.
Yeah.
Here, I got a picture to show you guys. Let's see. All Here you go. This is vintage me.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
This is when I was in shape. But I had the soul patch.
Yeah, the soul
the
patch,
faux hawk.
the faux hawk with the
I
digital camera picture that's perfect in the mirror.
Yeah. But this is when I was in the best shape of my life. I was probably like 140 pounds, maybe. But yeah,
That's
this is when that's when I thought I was cool. So there's a little tidbit on me.
I think at that point we all thought we were cool. Oh no, true. Okay, there we got.
Oh no,
2020, the golden
I
pineapple.
need to get me another lager too.
You can't have it be lonely.
I can't call it anything else now. I just got taught something.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you go to any bar in Philly and go, give me a lager, you're getting a fucking Yingling, 100% every time.
Hey, can't complain.
I'm not an IPA guy, man. I can't fucking do the IPAs. Oh, it tastes like I'm drinking plant water. Can't do it.
Yeah. You want some?
I don't mind
grass
them.
clippings.
I really don't. I kind of like them, but in very small doses. Like it's like a treat beer to me. I'll just have one, and then go to drinking back to my normal.
Yeah, and it's hit and miss with some of them too. It depends. There's some IPAs you can have, and you're like, oh shit, this is really good.
Yes,
like Dogfish had 60-minute, 90-minute IPA, and even when I had the 120, wasn't bad as well. Like those are great, but then you'll have other random ass IPAs that like a friend will give you, and like, hey, try this IPA. You take a sip, you're like, what the fuck is this? I don't want this. Take it back.
I used to drink anything that Rogue made, or anything that Goose Island made. Goose Island had a limited edition. I think it was called Matilda. It was 4-packs.
Okay.
It was really hard to find when I love those things. Loved them. And then I kind of had a palate change. I went away from the IPAs and everything like that. And that's about the time I rotated into bourbon. And I really like bourbon.
I have grown. I think I was talking to Bob about this when I interviewed him on my show, but I have been doing my best to really break into the whiskey, bourbon, all that shit.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, one of my guests that I had on, he's a big time cooking guy too. He got me into Angel's Envy, and that shit is fantastic.
Pretty good.
It's expensive. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
I got a bottle of the whiskey version because I love old fashions. That's my thing though when I go to bars, and if I'm finding a drink of choice, especially if it's in we're not talking like a hole in the wall. I don't go to a shitty bar and go give me an old fashioned because it's not going to be good.
No,
if I'm going to a reputable, I'll give you. I was in Georgia, and I was in Savannah, Georgia. Nice, really nice. Savannah's awesome. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's like very quaint, like great place. We went down to, they have a river area, and there's a bunch of bars, and we went to this one bar, and I knew it was a terrible decision, but I wasn't paying for it. It was being paid for by the guys that were taking us out because it was a business trip. And I asked for an old fashioned, and the moment I got it, it was in a plastic cup. Bless you. Plastic cup, and it had a fucking maraschino cherry in it. And the moment I saw that, the plastic cup was a dead giveaway, but the maraschino cherry, I saw that. I'm like, oh, this is it. It tasted like I licked a bum's asshole. Basically, is what it tasted like. And I knew that that was a terrible money spent, but it wasn't mine, so I guess it was all right.
Yeah.
But,
so you live and you learn. It wasn't your money spent. You tried it. It sucked. You move on. Yeah.
But that's my thing is I will get an old fashioned, and I gauge it by asking the bartender, how's your old fashions? And if he comes with some cockamamie shit, like if he says I have the best old fashions ever, I know they're probably going to be bad. But I've had some guys tell me that, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And it was like top 5 old fashions I've ever had because there's an art to it. There's
is.
definitely an art to it.
Yeah, we've got a bar in Louisville. It's a full-on bourbon bar, whiskey bar, and it's called the Silver Dollar, and it's in an old firehouse. And they have some artisans as bartenders, and people bitch or complain about a $10, $20 drink. You're actually getting a very good, well-aged bourbon, and in a copper glass.
Yeah.
They're Moscow mules, they're old fashions. They're just works of art when they're given to you, and they taste phenomenal. So I know where you're coming from when you're ordering, your old fashioned at a dive versus a place like that.
Yeah, it takes some love. It takes some skill. Like it takes like a half decent bartender at least. I think one of the better ones, dude. We love to go to this place called Ocean Prime. It's a chain, like nicer restaurant. It's like a middle to upper scale. And they had this smoked old fashioned, and it was it was like $40. It was not cheap.
I had,
but it was delicious.
Yeah, I had. I don't know if it was a smoked old fashioned, but it might have been that when I was down in Disney last year, and we went out to dinner, and at one of the restaurants, it was like I was looking through the menu, and I saw something. I think it was a smoked old fashioned, and it came out, it had the glass, and it's smoking and everything, and you had the steam and everything, and it was damn good. Damn expensive, but it was good. But it's worth the ambiance of the presentation.
Correct.
So I get it.
There's something about the smoking. The smoking does it does something. I don't know what the fuck it does.
And that's fairly new. That's a fairly new process.
Yeah, but it's depending on what they do with it, like what type of wood they use. It's like a different ballgame. It does taste good. But I've only had one. I've had two from two different places, so I can't be like, yeah, I know exactly.
You're not the expert on it. You don't know. You've had one or two. Okay, these I had were good, but it's not like you're going to every place and say, hey, give me smoked old fashioned. They're like, what? What are you talking about? No, we don't do that here.
Fuck you, done. Yeah, and make sure it's oak. Okay, I don't want that pine shit.
Yeah.
No, not that meth lab smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, don't just be blowing cigarette smoke in the glass.
Is this fucking Nicorette? What the fuck is it? Shit,
I got that smoke lager.
Yeah.
That would be actually
Joe Camel. Did Joe Camel smoke this?
Oh wow! I brought out Bourbon Bob, and he's a character that comes around in our podcast from time to time.
Like you said, Roadhouse did take me down the bourbon road. He sent me over the. What do we have? I think I got the bottle here. If that's the right one I'm grabbing, we'll see without breaking anything.
Bourbon country.
Oh no, that was that was a Grey Goose bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here it is. It was next to it. I couldn't see. The Noah's Mill.
Okay.
Bourbon here, and then the one that I picked up here that I kind of use as like my sipping bourbon was the Quarter Horse here that I got for $25 on sale. Which is pretty solid. It was like regular price $50 on sale for $30. Our price is $25, and
that stuff's made in the next county over from me.
Yeah,
you're in like the best county / state.
Yeah,
bourbon,
I've got
in bourbon
within 50 miles. I have Four Roses, Wild Turkey, Jim Beam. Who else is there?
Buffalo Trace.
Willet. Buffalo Trace. Jim Beam. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all within 50 miles as the crow flies from me.
Damn, dude. I mean, that's fucking amazing. Like I drink Bullet rye for my old fashioned. That's my staple thing here at home. And then I'll make the Angel's Envy special occasions because it's a fucking $100 bottle.
Yeah, you want that for when you're just drinking it, straight. You're not really mixing it unless you're doing a special occasion of mixing it with something.
Yeah, like that's not my standard thing. But it's fun trying new bourbons because bourbon and just whiskey in general it's all unique. And I've been a pussy for most of my life. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just give me a light beer. But since I started doing the old fashioned kick, and with all the different types of bourbon you can mix with it, all the different skills and styles of bartenders, you never know what you're gonna get. It's either dog shit or it's the best thing you've ever had. So like it's fun to go into a bar and try, especially if you're in like a different area, different state, whatever. It's fun to try the what their version looks like.
Yeah, I was with you on that too. I was not a bourbon drinker or whiskey or anything like that. And I had friends that would, and I'd be like, no, man, just give me a beer. And then they'd be like, hey, no, try this. And still I'd take a sip or two and be like, it's all right, but it's not really a go-to then. Then Roadhouse, kept pushing me, saying, hey, all right, here, I'm going to send you this, try this. We tried it. And
I broke him in with probably some of the highest proofed bourbon. What is that, 114?
I think so.
I think it was 114.3 or something like that.
114.3 proof. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it is totally smooth. It tastes like sweet tea.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, there's 114. I mean, you can make your own fucking Molotov cocktail down there if you wanted to.
But it's not it's not like Everclear burn. There's really no burn to that bourbon.
No, that's really smooth. Surprisingly, that's why I drank it the first time, and I think I drank it, just straight up, no ice, nothing the first time, and I'm like, okay, it's pretty smooth. And then I've cut it a few times, but just put it over ice.
Ice, let it break.
Okay, that's great. That's perfect, like that, and I'll drink that from time to time, or just pour some of the other stuff out there, and it works out. It's just kind of a little like a cool down of just you're relaxing. You just want to have a drink. You're not pounding down all the Bud Lights, so you just drink it.
$65 for that bottle I sent you. Something.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
you need to have like. I feel like with bourbon and whiskey, you have to have the ice ball. Yeah, I think the ice ball is essential with a lot of those.
Yes,
you can't do the chopped ice, in my opinion.
We'll get into this talk because I like to pour bourbon over ice and then just let it sit for 10, 15 minutes before I even touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I also I'm just passionate. I love to just drink it straight. Or they call it neat. But something magical happens with the ice that you can't duplicate by adding water.
Yeah.
The ice has to emulse around it and do its thing. It gets freaking cold as shit all of a sudden, and then something magical happens. I agree.
Yeah, it's different flavor. A different flavor comes out of it once it cools down a bit.
And it can't be fast. It's got to be. A
different flavor comes out of this.
Well, that's
asking for trouble over there.
Yeah.
Is that a pineapple with a face that's smiling?
Yeah, it's got sunglasses on too.
Yes, it's golden pineapple.
Yeah, look at that.
Jesus
look at that. See,
Christ.
he's got pineapple. He's got sunglasses. He's ready to party.
So why is it golden? Is it because there's pineapple? Like,
well.
Did they cut that specific pineapple up? They're
like,
all right,
supposed
look,
to
bro.
be a limited edition for 2020.
Yeah, here I got
He's got the original bottle.
Yeah, this was they released the MD 2020 Gold here. See, it says up top, limited edition in the beginning of 2020. they said, oh, for 2020, MD 2020 is bringing out a special flavor. And it was this MD 2020 Gold exclusively for 2020. And then we all know what happened like 2 months after they announced this. Then, the world shut down. But luckily we were still able to go out and search for these things and that. But I guess they sold so well that they kept it on as a regular flavor and just rebranded it the Golden Pineapple. So still has our little friend here with the sunglasses and pineapple. They just rebranded.
He's in a different situation. He doesn't have COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is how we all were before that extravaganza and that mess happened.
Well, you know what? It's wild. So during COVID, right, when everything shut down, one, I was way happier because I got to work from home and I didn't have to fucking drive an hour to work and an hour home. I got to work from home and it was fucking great. I drank. I might have drank more or around the same, but I actually lost weight. I lost weight.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm at home. I'm doing shit. I'm not stressed. I'm fucking working out like I was doing. I'd be on a conference call. I'm like, I got my hand shit. I'm just fucking, I have a really shitty fucking, whatever. I fucking workout equipment upstairs. So, I would work out a little bit. The wifey, same thing. Like we felt like we lost. I actually, I know some people gained a lot of weight during COVID. I actually lost weight. And she did too, because even though we drank a lot, we actually were healthier. We worked out more. Yeah. We did more around the house. We weren't as stressed. It was kind of a wild scenario for us because I think a lot of other people was like they're drinking all the time but they gained a ton of weight because they weren't used to it. Meanwhile, our livers are like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't too much more than the usual.
We've been prepping for this all our lives.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's main event time. All right, let's do it. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Curtains down. We're good. Let's go.
Yeah, as soon as we got locked down, I went and got a keg of Modelo.
Yeah, I remember it was like going out. It was like, okay, go out to the store. All right, loading up. Okay, how many 30 packs can I get here? I'm getting this. Okay, just in case. And then luckily, it was like, okay, these stores are essential, so they'll be open. Like, all right. Whew. It's like,
dude, it was wild here in Philly. So I'll never forget. I went to the liquor store because we were freaking out. We're like, oh fuck, we don't have enough liquor to go through this shit. Yeah. So I get to our liquor store because in PA, it's all run by the state. And I drink Captain, she drinks Tito's, and I'm like, look, I don't know what to do here, but I'm going to tell you what, we're just going to buy a shitload. So on the ground is a box and it's got 9 bottles of Tito's. And I'm just like in line. I'm like, all right. And I just buy I've never done that ever. I buy just an entire box of bottles of Tito's. And I don't even know what the fuck I did. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I did for Captain. Maybe I just bought like 2 or 3 handles. I'm like, all right, we'll be good for a little while. And then I would actually drive over to Jersey because Jersey was open. PA, everything was closed, boarded fucking up. Like they just fucking nailed boards and shit so nobody looted it. So I would actually just drive to Jersey, which was like 15, 20 minutes. And I would buy a box of fucking liquor, whatever we wanted, and come back. But it was a little inconvenient. But you know what, man? Bring it back. I was so stressless during that time. One, you didn't have to deal with people. People fucking suck. I fucking hate humans. They're awful. Yeah. I didn't have to deal with them. I didn't have to go into the office, which was fucking great because, dude, driving is awful.
Yeah, you dealt with people like this. This is how you dealt with people, like we're doing right now.
Yeah,
don't just see them in person. Don't have to deal with them. You can be sitting there. You can be on your call, and you have your Molson Triple X in your coffee cup, whatever. It's like nobody knows.
I'm not wearing pants, I got to wake up, take a shit before I did my morning call. It's just I feel like the stress levels were way different. Obviously now, they've kind of really done away with the work from home. There's been a lot of studies, whatever. for me, work from home, because dude, I'm an IT guy. So like, one, my job is in insurance. I don't actually do anything with IT, but like my computer is a fucking supercomputer. Like this is, it takes me years to build my computers. This shit's probably over a 5-year span worth $5,000, you know? So like this computer, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted in 2 minutes here. But if I go into the office, it takes me 10 minutes, right? So like I could do whatever they ask me to do very quickly because my computer is fucking legit. And then, or I could do it and multitask where I could, you know, maybe be doing the dishes or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a different time. I actually, I know some people had shitty experiences, but I really enjoyed being able to just not have to fucking drive to work. Driving sucks, dude. It's an hour there, hour back.
Yeah. So how do you like that Four Loko now?
Oh, dude, this Four Loko is legit, man. I love it. It's almost done.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say, you know, he was getting to the bottom of it.
Mark.
I was gonna say, you know, he was getting to that point where that can was almost done, and that's the sort that Loko starts flowing through your veins.
I'm mad I didn't buy two. Hashtag.
Oh man! All right.
See, that's
a rookie mistake
fire.
right there.
You're playing with fire at that point.
Well, you guys have like all your shit right there. You got a fridge right next to you, don't you, Roadhouse?
Yeah.
I don't have a fridge.
But I'm not going to drink 2 Four Lokos in a night. I'm not.
Why not?
Oh, depends on how much trouble you're looking for. How
yeah,
trouble
I've
are you
done
looking to get
it. I mean, I've done it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we've gone down that road. We did, like I said, we did about a month or so ago. We did the Four Loko Jungle Juice, and we did the Juice Jungle Juice, the juice malt beverage, and because we were doing a side by side comparison of the two flavors, and ended up in total, you know, drinking 2, you know, almost 14% malt beverages, and that's not going to end well. And we were talking to our friend Kevin last week, who said he would go 3 Four Lokos. He said he did, and that's when you're hitting that, like you're gone at that point. 2, you're really pushing it. You can get through it with 2. You're going to be cracked.
Felony for sitting at home.
Yeah. 3, who knows? You might be at home drinking that third one, but you might end up wandering down the street.
They call it the 5th Loko.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you guys this.
Loko.
So what I did is I created my own margarita. I call it the Roberita. I don't know if I talked to you about this, Bob, but so I call it the Roberita. So you can't have more than 3 without blacking out. So 3 is really the blackout.
You did bring that up.
Yeah.
I remember that.
2 is the brown out. 1, you feel good, right? So it's basically a cup of tequila, whatever you want. It is half a cup of triple sec. That's alcohol, really not the fucking pussy shit. And then half a cup of lime juice. It's very easy, simple recipe. But there's limitations. And the last time I did 3, I was streaming online with a bunch of friends. I had 15, 20 people watching me. I literally stopped, said I'd be back. I took off my pants and I just fell asleep. And I was asleep for like 13 hours. People thought I died. And it's one of those things where I could see how a Four Loko.
Streaming butt naked the whole time?
No. If I was, I'd probably be arrested. Yes. That would have not gone as well. But yeah, it was. So I tell people, I'm like, if you want my recipe, it's good. You listen to it, but you have to follow the guidelines, right? It's 1, you're okay. 2, you're probably losing a little consciousness. 3, you're asking for trouble. Anything over 3, you're probably going to die. So
I make something real similar, a summer drink, and we call it porch puke. Yeah. So you get a big container that's going to hold it. A whole handle of any vodka, usually the cheapest you can get. Another big 5th of any amaretto, cheap as you can get. 2 liter Sprite. 8 PBRs, and a thing of frozen lemonade mix, like in the can where you got to do the thing and squeeze it out.
Yeah.
And then just mix it up and throw some ice in it and then just nurse on that all day.
We call that Skippy here in Pennsylvania. I've actually done keg stands of that.
Yeah.
And do not remember most of whatever happens after that. But
that's the whole point of it.
I was gonna say, Rob, you said Skippy. I have a friend who was big, and he would do that too with the Skippy. He would get like some Keystone Light vodka and the lemonade, and then throw it in there.
Yeah,
so,
but Tang would be great.
You mix it, whatever your flavor palette goes to. Pick what you want and mix it up with it. There, you can't.
I've done keg stands.
You can't really go wrong.
And I
love the summer drinks.
300-pound men doing that. It is the delicious drink if it's made right, of course.
I'm a 300-pound man.
Really?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
300 and something pounds.
Jesus Christ, Roadhouse! Is it all in your dick, bro? He's slinging the big dick over there.
There's nothing short about me but my dick. Even my toes are long.
Jesus
Christ. Man. On that note,
we're gonna cut it off at the hour mark.
Yeah. So on that note, we can. Rob, man,
great episode, boys.
I was gonna say, tell everybody. Yeah, we didn't go too much really into your show and what you're doing, but give kind of like the Cliff Notes version of your podcasting, your shows, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I drink, I interview people that I find interesting. They can drink if they want. Most of the time they do, and then we see where we end up. Most of the time it's fun. I've interviewed authors, actors, bum wine enthusiasts. I've interviewed everything known to man, and honestly, it's been fun, man. It's been a good time. I'll continue to do this even if I have fucking one person watching, because it gives me an excuse to drink on a Thursday without calling me an alcoholic. But you can. It's I mean, it's close enough, right? Thirsty Tuesday, is that a thing?
Tuesday, Thursday, 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 Tuesday,
and
whatever you want,
whatever day. It ended in a Y.
Today, tomorrow, whatever.
You can find my podcast. It's Drink O'Clock Pod on all socials, and Drink O'Clock Podcast anywhere you listen to any type of podcast. So
right here, look at this. See, look at that right there. You can watch that very episode right there. I had the pleasure of being a guest on the Drink a Lot. Well, we did drink a lot, but the Drink O'Clock podcast.
I did everything I could to find everything you talked about to fucking put on that YouTube thumbnail. I'm getting every flavor of that
Night Train 2020. I don't know. What else are we talking about? I don't know. Just throw it on there. I don't care.
I was like, I'm getting it all. It's going to be all beyond.
Great picture. You post a thing like, hey, can I get a copy of that? Can you send me a copy of that picture? I got to post it on my site.
Awesome.
But hey, Rob, hey, look at it. He's finishing up that 4 LOKO.
It was good. It was good.
So now we'll see some more 4 LOKO in your future, and we'll have you back on here again. We'll have to do some more because there's a whole wide variety of flavors out there to pick from. So
look, if you guys want some danger, you have me, Steph, and Burley on. And I'll tell you what, I don't know what type of audience you have. You'll probably have to have it in the Patreon.
Well, don't threaten me with a good time.
The shit we talk about, bro. It's Burley. He's the host of the Rage Pillage Podcast, which is another podcast I'm a co-host of. And I got to tell you, he's my boy, and he says some crazy shit. He's hilarious. And if we can get him drinking, because he stopped drinking, sometimes he'll drink here and there. If we can get him drinking, woo, you guys will have
So you get him a 4 LOKO. Tell him to crack
Yeah.
one of those bad boys open.
Just give
And
it
then
to him
we
in
will
a brown bag. Don't tell him. What it is.
Yeah.
He's from Houston. I think he's got it. He knows if he knows for a
Yeah,
loco. I'm probably pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll find it out there. So there it is. Finishing up. There it
There
is.
we
Crush
go.
that can. That is Rob.
Let's go.
Rob,
My
man, thank
dude.
you. Great chatting with you again. Be sure to check out his podcast, the Drink O'Clock. I don't know why all those
Drink
this is
O'Clock.
super premium beer.
Triple
there.
X,
You
baby.
think that Triple X getting to you here after that
It's
little Four
Triple
Loco
X.
pregame. Roadhouse breaking out the MD 2020 today as well. So you never know what you're going to get here on Bone with Bobcat. So be sure to smash that subscribe button on the Bum Wine Bob YouTube channel. Check out
like.
Rob, Drink O'Clock podcast. I said it right that time. Check
Yeah.
out
Yeah, wow.
Roadhouse. Give him a follow. Stay tuned because we'll be back again. So tell your friends the best of the worst in cheap booze is here. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Motherfuckers.